Too much talking, not enough thinking, Natalia. Am I recording? Am I recording? I never know. I always hope. Hi everyone. Hi everyone, this is Natalia from NATALKA Design. Welcome back. Welcome to the next episode where I would love to focus on how to stay motivated. Here we go. So I've got 9 tips for you today. I hope any of them is good. They'll be quick, they'll be straightforward, hopefully. They might be actually things that you heard before. That's okay, because sometimes we just need to reinforce what we already know, because well, we know kind of technically always what to do, but we just never do it, right? Or there's something always that like stops us, or it's not as obvious as it should be. And we all actually really know what to do to stay motivated. But I hope even one of these tips will help you. It helps me. I've been running my business for almost 9 years and I've been working a lot from home. My business has been always online, very much digital, very much self-reliant, self-responsible. I needed always a lot of motivation because otherwise, well, ain't nowhere it's gonna be done. So I hope that any of these tips will be useful, practical, and I would love to hear from you what sort of things keep you motivated, especially in this time where it's so easy to get distracted, to lose motivation, and to kind of not know how to go about it. So here are my 9 tips and I hope you enjoy them. Make sure to hit subscribe and press on that bell button so you know when the next episode is coming in. I finally said it after 10 hours. I mean, guys, I'm new to this. Please stay with me. So, number one is organize your space. I don't know what kind of space you're working with. I don't know if you have a lot of space or little space. I don't really care. All I'm thinking and describing here is even if you have a little corner, you're sharing a table with someone, or you have a little desk, or even if you don't really have a desk, but there's some sort of space that you like working in and you like where your ideas come through, and that's where your laptop usually is, organize it, guys. It saves a lot of time. It opens up your brain. If I have too much clutter around me, I'm just gonna be like, what's going on? I don't know where my stuff is. All I need is my computer, my glasses, maybe my coffee if I'm drinking it then. I even put away my phone because it's gonna distract me. Distract me? Distract me? Distract me. And I just really like as little around me as possible. If you don't have the luxury to have your own desk, that's okay. Just find a space where you like working, but just make sure there's not too much around you. Organize your stuff, guys. Number 2 tip, organize your time. So what I mean by that is if you want to stay motivated, the thing that's always been helpful for me, and we're all different here, so I'm just speaking from my experience, but for me, for example, it doesn't really work to put exactly in the day what I'm going to do. If I have calls, that's very clear, but if I put at 9 I'm doing this, at 8 I'm doing this, at 7 I'm doing this, at 5 I'm doing this, it's just never gonna work because there's other things coming up, or if I didn't manage to finish what I've been doing, I'll be like, oh, I didn't manage. So that's kind of not me. But if you can organize your time, at least that, if that means to you in the morning, just write top 3 things that you're gonna do for that goal of yours to stay motivated. That's amazing, and just do that. And you're not doing anything else until you tick these things off. If something emergency comes in, of course react to it, we all know, but try to organize at least what you're gonna do. If that means that in the morning you're gonna do X and in the afternoon you're gonna do Y, do that. One thing I would suggest definitely is start with the most difficult thing, because I tend to, for example, to like bring that difficult thing into later on in the day and it just doesn't happen, or I get, let's say, distracted, or I get stuff to do and it's just a mess. So organize your time as much as you can, whatever that means to you. So I'm not going to make it about how I do it, but whether that means you put it in your calendar, you write your top three things or 2 things or 1 thing you're gonna even achieve, or even if you want to do it weekly, that's up to you, but make sure you are organized with time. It saves a lot of craziness that's going on here. So whatever you're working on, whether that's a little thing or a long-term thing, maybe you have like a big goal or little things to do, set yourself a short-term goal and set yourself a long-term goal. So what I mean by that is don't throw yourself into this, like, let's say I'm going to achieve this, because then it gets a bit like, I don't know how to get there. But if I'm going to break it down for myself, let's say I'm going to say this week I'm going to achieve this only thing, and then by the end of the month I'm going to achieve that thing. So let's take an example of us now redoing our website for NATALKA Design. If I just put in my goal, update the website, it's going to freak me out and I'll never finish it properly. Oh, I didn't manage. But if I say for today or for this week or whatever it is that you're working with, I'm going to update just the 2 pages of my services. So I'm going to add a copy, I'm going to add 2 pictures, I'm going to be very specific. That's all I'm going to do. That's doable. I can bite that. I can do that. You know, even if the world goes crazy, I will achieve that. If I put just update the website, I'm going to sit there and just feel sorry for myself, because it's going to overwhelm me, because there's so much to be done within that umbrella that I'm just not going to make it. So bite these goals into short term and long term. Now, something that really helps me, I'm not sure if it might help you, but explore. These are just tips. Tip number 4, write or draw the reasons why you really want to achieve that goal. So whatever that is, whether that's a small thing, as I said, or whether that's something long-term or bigger, write or draw the reasons why you really want to do it. Because whether that's even, I don't know, your motivation to get healthier, your motivation to lose weight, your motivation to create a new website, to start a business, to create a beautiful pitch for your next client, to work better with your team. I don't know, there's so many things that you can do. Please write down or draw if it helps you, because it will be much more emotionally connected if you actually draw or stick pictures or anything like that. What are the reasons you want to do it? And suddenly it will become so much more real and important to keep motivated and stay on track. I highly recommend that one. So connecting with number 4, tip number 5 is keep that big picture in mind. So what is the big picture? What am I trying to achieve here? It's not even about the task, but if I say to myself, again, let's say I want to get better at cooking. Let's say that's my goal. But am I really speaking about that, or does it mean that then I'll be able to eat healthier? I'll be able to use more products that I haven't used before. It will mean that I can invite my friends at some point and be proudly, you know, sharing with them a meal that maybe I've never done before. So what does it mean? Keep that big picture in mind. Again, visualize it or write it down. I don't care, you know, make a voice note, slap it on in front of you. But if you keep that big picture in mind, it becomes again much more in your brain, and you can come back to it and your motivation will stay on track. Tip number 6, track your progress. It's very important to track any progress that you have. If you just kind of jump into a goal or whatever you set yourself and you want to keep motivated, it's very easy to, let's be honest, be sidetracked, do other things. Time is passing, and after a month or a week or something, you might be like, I don't even know what I achieved here. Like, how much have I done? But if you really track your progress and write down exactly what's been going on, I've done this, I've achieved this, I got in touch with this, I wrote this down, I actually filled this in, you will see how, whether that looks like nothing, you will see your progress, and that is very, very motivating actually. So whether that's a little table that you can again slap in front of you and just tick off your progress, or whether that's in your computer, you can use even apps like Trello or anything like that and just like progress and go forward, and just whether that's a, again, digital experience for you or written or doodled, I don't know, it's up to you. But just track your progress, because it will change your life in terms of motivation on, like, let's say week 4 I've done already this much, so until week 10 I've got this much to be done, and it just makes more sense. It's much more bite-sized and it's not as scary. Something very important I think that we all sometimes forget, especially when we are, let's say, maybe shy about a thing that we want to achieve, or it's not something that we can discuss with a family or a friend. we forget to surround ourselves with people that are like-minded and want to and will help us if we need them. So tip number 7, surround yourself with people that are like-minded, that can support you, at least send a kudos to you. So when I, for example, started running, first of all, I never thought I'm gonna run. I always thought I'm like Phoebe from Friends, who is literally just like trying to run. But I've been running more and I love it. I basically even went on an app called Strava, and few of my friends started following me and I started following them back. And it might sound like nothing, but after some of my runs, some of my friends would send me a thumbs up. Some of them would like be like, oh, Natalia, awesome, you're running now, and things like that. And suddenly we started a chat, and it was just like more of a feeling of like a motivation, like, you know, my friend is running, I'm running, you know, and it's kind of like everyone's doing it. Wow, suddenly I'm like not on my own with my idea. So get help from anyone around you that can keep you on track and can keep you motivated if it's really hard for yourself to do it. I find it super, super motivating, especially if it's something that you're not really sure of doing, or it's hard for you and you're like, oh, I need to do this thing. At least have one person who you can, in a friendly way, let's say agree that, you know, I will keep you on track, and like after a week I want to see that one thing has been done or one thing has been ticked off. And maybe you can do the same for that person. Maybe as friends you can kind of keep yourselves together motivated. Just try, see what happens. Even if this is one person in your life, maybe not even someone close, but actually someone that doesn't know you too well, but it's actually maybe much easier to just be non-emotional about it and just kind of be like, yeah, sure, I'll keep you on track, I'll keep checking up on you. It's super, super useful to keep you motivated on what you want to achieve. Tip number 8, reward yourself as you go. And I'm not speaking about necessarily having a good old piece of chocolate if that's, you know, not something that you want to do, especially if you're trying to be healthier. Although I do think that dark chocolate is amazing and I will keep eating it. Segue. But reward yourself. I don't know what that means for you. For all of us, it can be something else. Whether that is, I promise myself that if I do X, I'm going to have a beautiful bath in the evening. And you know what? Put that time and do it if you achieved it. Or the reward could be that if I achieve X, Y, Z after a week, I'm going to take an hour or half a day or something next week for myself, just to completely remove myself from that situation, get some new perspective, get some motivation back and keep going. Or that could actually mean that yes, you might buy that amazing chocolate or cake that you really, really crave and you feel like, because I've done it, I can do it, I can eat it, yes, I've done it well. Or maybe that means that after, let's say, a certain period of achieving something, you will upgrade your, I don't know, tech, or you will do something for yourself. It doesn't have to be anything that you buy something for yourself. It can just be time that you're giving yourself, it can be your thing that you really like to do, or it can be basically anything to do with you or your friend, or doing it together. So anything that makes you happy as a reward, please do that as you go, as you progress, not at the end, as you progress. That's really, really motivating, at least for me. And last tip, tip number 9, basically don't worry about things that you can't control. And I always talk about it, that there's everything you can plan in this world, and it's beautiful if it works out the way you want it to. It's beautiful if it, you know, goes as you wished and moves forward. But sometimes life is life happens, and we all know that. And whatever comes your way, you can't always control it. So be happy and focus and motivated on the things you can control. But if something happens outside of your control, don't get discouraged. It's normal, it's life, it can happen. Take a moment, take a breather, talk to your friend, to your family, you know, switch things up. Is there a way that you can now still do this, but in a maybe longer term, and then replan that? It's okay. Or just take time off for the time you need to and come back fresh and sound in the time that you can. So whatever it is, whether that's a great thing or that's not a great thing, it's just life happens and we can't always control what's going to happen. I mean, I'll give you an example. I thought I'm gonna run every day and just be this amazing runner, and something happened to my back and I had to stop for a second, and I felt a bit sorry for myself for a moment there. I had my goals for a week, how many kilometers I want to do and things like that. Didn't happen, that's okay, gotta move on. Of course I had a moment of like, me, but you know, you just have to get on with it and move forward. The same with my work. I would think that I'll achieve, let's say, rebuilding the website for NATALKA Design in a month, and now it takes us longer because we're thinking how to do this best, how to do that best. It's okay, we're replanning, we're restructuring, we're still moving forward, but in a updated version, because there's things that happen outside of our control and we do our best, but hey, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah. So these are my 9 top tips for how to stay motivated. I hope that even one tip was something that you might try and use, and some of them probably you heard before, but it's just really good to kind of reconnect and recall them back. I would love to know what are your top tips on how you're staying motivated. Please help me, because I'm still learning. It's not like I've got it right. I find myself kind of, you know, daydreaming and everything. So please, I would love to hear your top tips as well. Hit subscribe and new videos will be coming down soon. I would love to get any ideas from you, what kind of videos you would like to hear from us, whether that's on motivation, creativity, visual storytelling, company stuff, business stuff, or just life stuff. Anything that we can do, I would love to cover that. So please come up with some ideas and let me know. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. I would love to hear from you. Peace out. Me.